Senator Kelsey. Senator Kelsey, are you in the cloakroom? Oh, there he is, right there. And members, this will be item number 24, Senate Bill 804. Senator Kelsey, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. Senate Bill 804 is the TennCare Fiscal Responsibility Act. And as I said in here last time, for those of us who are believers in principles of small government and federalism, this is an important piece of legislation.
I'm sorry. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the bill. It is properly before us. We have an amendment in hard copy that needs to be distributed that we will attend to momentarily. As that's being distributed, Senator Kelsey, I'm sorry you were interrupted. You're recognized on the bill. It's properly before us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We all heard the governor's statements this morning, and I applaud the governor for rejecting Medicaid expansion this year. That was the right decision. It was the right thing to do. His statements were unclear as to whether he will continue to reject Medicaid expansion in the future. And it's for that purpose that I put forward this bill before you.
Okay, you've heard the explanation of the bill. We have amendment that's been distributed 5824, sponsored and filed by Senator Green. Senator Green, you're recognized on the amendment.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment essentially, the governor in his remarks this morning stated that he was still working with the administration to devise a plan that would be a Tennessee-based plan. What I would like to do is to continue to offer him that negotiating room, but as he promised in his speech, just to have us take a look at that once it's put together. So I'd like to move this amendment, and I also have an amendment to the amendment that I would like to make verbally, that is just striking two words. So I move the amendment with the hope of amending the amendment.
Okay, we have a motion on the amendment. We have a second. Okay, we're on the amendment that's been presented. Senator Green, you're recognized on Amendment 1-1.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I would like to take out the words joint resolution in the last sentence of Section 1. Verbally remove joint resolution. So it just reads authorized by the General Assembly.
So it'd be joint resolution of. You'd actually be striking those three words, right?
Correct.
Which would make it unless authorized by the General Assembly.
Correct.
Okay, so legal, do we have that? Okay. Okay, that's Amendment 1-1. It's been moved. Is there a second? Seconded. We're on Amendment 1-1. You've heard the explanation. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We adopt. We're on Amendment 1 as amended. Let's first of all hear from Senator Kelsey how he. Do you accept this as a friendly amendment?
Just one last statement, Mr. Chairman, and that is that that I will continue to be a watchdog on this issue, and I fully plan to do everything that I can to block Medicaid expansion in Tennessee, and I'm glad that we were successful this year. But I fully plan to be a watchdog on this issue as we go forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator Kelsey. Senator Burks, you're recognized on the amendment.
Do we have the right as a legislator to tell the governor what to do? As far as, TennCare, I thought Medicare was under the, the governor's branch.
The executive branch.
Executive branch. And is this even constitutional for us to tell him what to do with that? I mean, I didn't think we could.
Sure, but was that directed at the sponsor of the amendment, I suppose? Senator Green to respond, or Senator Kelsey?
I'm happy to respond, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Chairman?
The TennCare program provides for a lot of discretion to the governor, whoever that governor may be, and it allows for the governor to negotiate a waiver with CMS, the National Medicare Medicaid Services Organization, and so that's why this language directs that particular expansion that would be possible under CMS negotiations and a CMS waiver.
But it also says the governor shall not make a decision or obligate the state of Tennessee. I mean, it looks like we're telling him what to do as a governor. I don't think I'd like to see an attorney general's opinion on that just to see. I don't think we can do that.
I did not draft this language. I mean, perhaps striking make any decision or might work as well, so that it just reads the governor shall not obligate the state of Tennessee in any way. I think that would potentially solve your problem.
Senator Green.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The intent of this isn't to, I mean, if the governor has a budget, we still vote on the budget.
Right.
And that's why the words joint resolution are amended out of it, so that in the appropriations bill, the arrangements that he makes to develop a Tennessee-based plan would still be voted on by us in the appropriations bill. So we're not taking any powers away from the governor in the wording of this amendment, to my understanding. And I don't know if legal...
Doesn't look like it's written that way to me, because it says the governor shall not make any decision. I mean, that sounds like we're limiting his ability to act.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chairman Gresham. You're right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't claim to be the grammarian of the year, but you take it the governor shall not make any decision and then follow that with regard to the expansion of the medical assistance program. So it has to do with, it refers directly to this particular issue, not make any decision in the world. It has to do specifically, with that issue. So, I mean, is that what you're...
And that issue has always been under the purview of the administration. We've never been able to regulate as the interworkings of the Medicaid program.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Sure, Chairman Kelsey.
Thank you. The senator's correct, but the reason why it is that the legislature has never had the authority to make many changes or have much discretion over the Medicaid program is because the legislature voluntarily gave that power away in a statute that is on the books. And so we are controlled by statutes in this state, and this is the largest budget item of our entire state budget, and the legislature basically over the years, as the senator states correctly, has punted that decision to the executive. And when I guess what my intention is as a sponsor is to say, at least in this one small area, we're going to say that the legislature shall retain authority over this one small area.
Senator Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I'm trying to do with this, the intent of this, and I'm not a Chairman Gresham. Is it
Grammarian.
Grammarian? I'm not a grammarian either. But
Chairman Gresham is agrarian.
Okay, sorry. The intent here is to this bill 804, as it's written, closes the door. It basically says we're done, can't do Medicaid expansion. And while I am no proponent of Obamacare, I at least know that our governor is negotiating with the administration. They have not answered his questions, and I want to leave the door open for him to continue those negotiations. That's the intent of this amendment. And then it provides that after he reaches those negotiations and they develop the Tennessee plan, we get to look at it as the voice of the people, as the legislative body, and render this is what the people say, and a thumbs up. And so that's what this amendment is trying to do.
Speaker Watson.
And following along the grammarian line of thinking, I think to the senator who's expressing concern about this limiting the governor relative to the entire Medicaid program, it does go on to say that it's pursuant to, and it specifically mentions the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, Public Law 11-148. And so I think grammatically speaking, it's fairly clear that the amendment is limiting the governor's decision-making ability, or it's making an obligation of the state of Tennessee with regard to the expansion of a medical assistance program, and then there's a comma there to define what that medical assistance program is. And that medical assistance program is known as Medicaid, comma, another qualifier pursuant to the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. So I think grammatically it's fairly clear that this is referencing Medicaid as it is expressed in expansion of under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, and I'm comfortable with the way it's drafted.
Okay, Chairman Green, then we need to move along. So, Chairman or Vice Chairman Green.
Very, very quickly, and in addition to that, that Speaker Watson has mentioned, it also quantifies it with the changes made by the Supreme Court in the case that was heard before the Supreme Court. So as you see that there, it also includes the changes as a result of that decision. So,
okay, Chairman Kelsey on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Procedurally, are we on the oral amendment to the amendment?
We are. We're on the amendment. No, we adopted Amendment 1-1, so we're on the amendment
that was already
as amended.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Question's been put. If there's no objection, those in favor of Amendment 1 as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We adopt. We're on the bill as amended. Further discussion? If there's no objection, the question is put. Chairman Kelsey to close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I've said just about all of it, which is I applaud the decision of the governor today to reject Medicaid expansion this year. However, I will use this bill as a vehicle to remain a watchdog to ensure that we do not waste federal dollars and state tax dollars in years going forward. Thank you. And I would appreciate a yes vote.
Okay, call the roll.
Senator Burks?
Is this on the amendment?
This is on the bill
as amended.
Nope.
Senator Burks votes no. Senator Green?
Aye.
Senator Green votes aye. Senator Gresham? Aye. Senator Gresham votes aye. Senator Sutherland? Aye. Senator Sutherland votes aye. Senator Tate? No. Senator Tate votes no. Senator Tracy? Aye. Senator Tracy votes aye. Senator Watson? Aye. Senator Watson votes aye. Senator Yeager? Aye. Senator Yeager votes aye. Chairman Johnson? Aye. Chairman Johnson votes aye. 7 ayes and 2 noes.
Okay, the motion is to the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
Chairman Kelsey. Your other two bills are general subs, so.
Please.
Okay, next on our list.